All right, guys, I do have a Monday morning editorial for you. This one is for all of you Second Amendment people. I'm talking about both sides of the Second Amendment. I support the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. I believe that every citizen does need to have a gun. And I saw a thing once by Jim Jeffries, an Australian comedian, and he was talking about how come Americans need guns for protection. You know, he's like, what if you're in the shower, your house gets broke into? Hold on a minute. Put a towel around you. Let me get my gun. You know, I get all that, but we do need it. And it's because of people like this that I'm about to talk about right now. This guy who walked into this store with a gun, had the citizens not been armed, or had the one citizen not been armed, it could have been worse than a robbery. It could have been a homicide. I mean, it was a homicide. It was a killing, but it was in self-defense. But that robber could have shot two innocent victims after robbing them. Had someone not been carrying and was able to defend himself and that store. Philadelphia does have an open carry. If you have the proper permits, you can carry in Philadelphia. What am I talking about? Let's jump into it. Thank you, Philadelphia CBS Local, for this story. A customer walked in on a robbery at a Northeast Philadelphia takeout restaurant and ended up killing the suspect, police say. The robbery and the shooting happened around 10:30 p.m. Sunday at the Wingstop on the 2100 block of Cotman Avenue. The restaurant was open at the time of the robbery. Police say the 53-year-old robber walked into the restaurant and demanded employees give him the money. That was when another customer walked in. When the robber pointed his gun at him, the customer fired his weapon and hit the robber once in the neck. When police arrived on scene, the robber was behind the counter and pronounced dead. The customer is only identified as a man in his late 20s. Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott Small said the customer, who was also a victim because he had the gun pointed at him, remained on scene. He did cooperate with police. We do have his weapon, and we know that just one shot was fired from that customer. So here's, a guy comes in, he robs this poor Wingstop. In a pandemically feared world, this guy, this Wingstop is just trying to earn some money, where all these businesses are closing in this pandemic crazy atmosphere. This one Wingstop is just trying to earn some money, just trying to make a living, just trying to stay afloat. And this 53-year-old scumbag comes in there to take the money that they've worked hard to earn. And then the customer comes in, the scumbag points his gun at the customer, and it was lights out. It's like the Bible says, live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the gun, nanny, nanny, boo-boo. This is one where the Second Amendment paid off. The customer was carrying, took care of business. I don't think that any charges will be brought on him. Shouldn't be. And I know that people say, well, people are going to try to excuse the 53-year-old and go, maybe he was hungry. Maybe he was. So he pointed his gun at somebody to take their hard-earned money? No. I want to know what you guys think about this one. And when I said the Second Amendment, both sides, you got people that oppose the Second Amendment and say, no, you know what? Guns are dangerous. See, this guy was robbing a store. Nobody should have guns. If you outlaw guns, then only outlaws will have guns. I guess that's how it says. But basically, people on the street are going to get a gun no matter what. We need to be protected. You got to fight. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. So the citizens have to be armed too. I think I'm beating this one in the ground. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers and people in Philadelphia with guns from coast to coast.